Darlings, welcome back. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Dipuo, for those of you that are new. All returners, thank you guys. I do appreciate your continued support, and I do hope that my messages resonate and guide you and give you clarity in your life. So today's reading is going to be based on the transit that planet Saturn is making from Capricorn to Aquarius. That's going to be happening around the 20th or latest 23rd of this month, January 2023, right? But before that, let's get an overview so that you guys can understand what the reading is really based on. You see, the planet of Saturn is one planet that brings karma. It brings changes. It's very strict. It brings discipline. Saturn is like that big aunt, that uncle, that granddad, that grandma, or maybe a strict parent. But Saturn, wherever it goes, rather, it actually brings discipline. It tidies things up. It puts things in place. It straightens things up, right? So that is just the energy that Saturn comes with. Everywhere it goes, it cleans things up. Now, currently, it is actually moving from one of the houses that it rules, which is the 10th house of Capricorn, and it's moving to the 11th house of Aquarius, which is also another house that it rules. So what this means is that this planet has been very comfortable. It has been in its familiar space. It has been in its comfortable zone in a way. And, this gives it the ability to operate or fully function in its full potential, right? It gives it its ability to perform at its best. So how has it really performed at its best? Well, since it's about to move into Aquarius on the, as I said, latest 23rd of January, let's look at how effective has it really been in Capricorn. Now, the thing is, it stays in one zodiac size for 2.5 years, right? The past 2.5 years, Saturn was sitting in Capricorn. Now, what's Capricorn all about? Capricorn is the 10th house. It's the 10th house of careers, of public image. This is where you get your career goals achieved or kick-started if you're a late bloomer. This is where you actually establish a business, or this is where you look at yourself as a CEO. You look back at all the things you've achieved, or all the work that you've put in. You feel like a boss. 10th house compels you to do what it is that is going to bring you growth, that is going to probably help you in your career or help you in business if you want to be a CEO. This is something that's going to help you work on your public image. This is where you build a name for yourself, or you have built a name for yourself, and now you're keeping that legacy going, right? That's the 10th house of Capricorn. Now, coming to public image, that is not just something that concerns you. Saturn is one planet that will affect a collective and have visible results. All the planets affect us as a collective, but some planets have a tendency to make the results visible, like Saturn, because as I said, it comes with karma. It brings karma, right? Karma is quite visible. So when Saturn was in Capricorn in the past 2.5 years, I'll make an example with my own country, which is South Africa, but some of these things have been happening worldwide, right? There's been a rise in the male anatomy. If you notice, in the past 2.5 years, a lot of males stepped up. They were in the scene, celebrities, and if you can see, it used to be females that loved being behind the camera, right? That would love selfies. That there was even a trend, a thing about females pouting for selfies and whatnot. But in the past 2.5 years, we've seen males rise into that occasion. We've seen a lot of them actually, loving this whole vlogging idea and taking selfies and whatnot. That is just I could say the surface underneath. But on top, if you can check, a lot of males came out, especially here in South Africa, ganging up, or rather dating a lot of influencers. And most of these males turned out to be criminals. Most of them showed us that actually a lot of businessmen out here are doing a lot of crime. And this is how they reach most of them, right? And the women they went for, these are the influencers. These are the girls that also showed us that there's a lot of evil works going on behind how a woman should look, how spirituality is concerned with a woman's looks, because they tried to kill everything genetically identical to a black woman's features, right? They made sure that they change your hair type, they change your eyelashes, they change your skin tone, they even want to change your body structure, right? So there's a lot of all these BBLs, all the skin bleaching, all those things they came up with the type of females that were then associated with a lot of males that turned out to be criminals or thugs, or running away from tax and all of those things. It was just simply people that were doing things wrongly, people that were greedy, people that wanted more and more money and would have done anything for it. And some of them actually turned out to be, or we thought they were sweethearts, sweet people, gentlemen, and we were happy for these influences, but a lot of them turned out to be criminals. All right. And also the other thing, if you noticed in the past 2.5 years, when Saturn was straightening things up, I think in this 10th house, Saturn wanted to expose. According to me, in the past 2.5 years, when Saturn was sitting in the zodiac of Capricorn, it was all about exposure, because you see, it wanted to point out who are the people and how to identify them. And that is when Aquarius comes in. It knew that it's going to move to Aquarius after some 2.5 years, and it's going to have to show us how things work. But before it shows us how things work, it has to show us things, right? Because people don't really believe in witchcraft and evilness and whatnot. So Capricorn had to work on that alongside Saturn in the past 2.5 years. A lot of witchcraft has been exposed in the past 2.5 years. Pastors using witchcraft, evil sangomas that use their powers for stuff. There's a lot of them that even don't hide their deeds. Some of them even broadcasted for anyone else who's interested to learn. You have YouTubers out here that are just talking evil stuff, and they're willing to help you if you want such help. So a lot of things have been exposed. A lot of celebrities that are saving the dark side have been exposed in the past 2.5 years. That was Saturn, right? I could go on and on and on. Honestly, you guys, I could say a lot of things about how Saturn has been very effective. Like for example, check 2018, we had the most strikes, right? But that was when Saturn was in the 9th house of Jupiter. 9th house of Jupiter. Jupiter is seen as the rebellious one in the zodiac sign, because not Jupiter, man, Sagittarius, but it's still the house of Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet that rules that house, and Sagittarius is the zodiac of that house, right? So Sagittarius is considered always the black sheep, the one that always follows their own heart, the one that doesn't just want to take everything they're told. They actually want to experiment some of it. You could call Sagittarius Thomas, right? So in a way, Sagittarius is always considered the rebellion, and in 2018 Saturn was still sitting around there in Sagittarius, and what that caused is a lot of strikes. If you do your research, you'll realize that in 2018 there was the most workers' strikes in South Africa, and they were rising high. I think what stopped or slowed things down was the whole COVID scare and outbreak. So Saturn, whichever house it visits, it makes sure to actually fix things, even if it means using the drive of that particular house or zodiac sign to make things happen, to put things in place. So, we saw the rise of Malema also around 2018 and before that. Malema was just getting more and more aggressive. And also the thing about Sagittarius is that it's a philosopher, right? It's a prophet, right? So what it sees, what it preaches is what it sees. And best believe it's going to follow the process of head, horror, hands, thoughts, speech, action. So it will force a person to not only think of things and speak of them, but put them into place. And this is why there was a lot of scare. People were thinking Malema is actually going to go out there and kill white people. But he didn't do that. It felt so intensified because Saturn was sitting at Sagittarius. And so anything or anyone who appeared to be rebellious, depending on your definition of rebellious, who appeared to be rebellious in some eyes, probably it was exaggerated by the energy of this planet being in the 9th house. And then it came to the 10th house, and as I said, we saw a rise in a lot of witchcraft being exposed, a lot of females being seen for who they are with this fake lifestyle, all the nasty things about Dubai and whatnot. All those things came out because Saturn was in the 10th house of Capricorn. It was exposing anything that just wasn't working well or in line with nature was exposed, right? So now Saturn is finally moving into Aquarius, and here's what's going to happen. There's going to be a lot of gang stalking. You see, at this point, everybody's been exposed, right? if you didn't catch the drift, if you didn't learn, if you didn't open your eyes in the past 2.5 years to see what this world really is about, and how it operates, and how witchcraft is real, and how planets, or rather astrology, is real, and all those things, if you haven't really catch that drift, it's going to be a bumpy ride for the next 2.5 years for you, because this is the year of gang stalking. When Saturn moves into Aquarius is the house of friendships. It's the house of hopes and wishes. It's the house of humanitarians and whatnot. This is the house where groups are formed, whether for good or bad, right? And Saturn comes there to expose these groups, or to mend or form these groups, right? So you will be realizing a lot of gang stalking. Everybody that has been exposed in the past 2.5 years, everybody that knows that you know who they really are, they're going to try to gang up on you now. And for some of you, you're actually going to be starting groups of some sort, a following of some sort, an organization of some sort. This is when you step into your power. So Saturn comes there, it exposes, but also it builds. Those that need building, it will build them. Those that need exposing, it will expose them. But here's the thing I said. It doesn't expose them because it wants to destroy them. It's exposing them because it's helping them to get past something that they couldn't get past by themselves. All right, let's check out what are some of the reading. You're going to be experiencing a lot of gang stalking. A lot of gang stalking is just what I'm picking up. All right, let's get into the reading. How long is the video? 11 minutes, not bad. Let's see, Saturn. Okay, what to expect. Saturn energy. What to expect. And I also feel like Saturn is really going to be dealing with the government this time, right? It's still lingering with that energy, because in the 10th house, actually, it's talking about careers, right? And public images, right? Who rules or who controls the public image? The government, because the government also rules mainstream media, whether we like to admit it or not, right? Who rules careers? It is mostly governments, because the biggest job creators of most countries, democratic countries, are government. So when Saturn comes down on somebody, it's going to come down on the government, right? And this is why there was a lot of strikes, worker strikes, right? And even though most of the worker strikes will be maybe private sector, they still affect government. How? Because government has to provide police to calm down the situation, right? Government has to tell mainstream media what to say to the public. Government in a way, they will always have to be the sweepers. So this time around, it's going to be exposing also a lot of bad organizations, or a lot of let me get into the reading. Let me just get into the reading. What can we expect? Expansion. I told you that some of you are growing. Expect expansion, especially with Saturn going into the 11th house. This is the house of groups. This is the house of forming friendships, the house of forming organizations. This is when things are strengthened, right? Connections, bonds, relations. What else is here? Expansion. I'm also hearing somebody's name is expanding. Your name is expanding or spreading. So some people don't even know you. They don't know your face, but they know about your name. It doesn't even have to. This doesn't mean that you are famous or popular, right? Those are also two different things. It just means that, your word travels fast. Whatever you say it reaches so many ears. You could say something like a quote, like an inspirational quote, something maybe that came from your heart, right, to somebody, and this person repeats it to the next person, and the next thing you know, 3 months down the line, this is like a code, that more people use to advise others, or it just becomes a trend or something like that, and you don't even know that it actually came from you. So this is spiritual expansion. Saturn will set things up. They will iron things up, even if you're not aware, even if you're sleeping. Saturn will just clean the house while you sleep. And when you wake up, you're like, huh? When did this happen? That's Saturn, right? So some of you, either you're awake to what's happening, what Saturn is doing, or maybe you're not, but Saturn is still going to do it, even if you're not awake to it. What else? What else is here? What are the messages? I pulled 2 cards. We have recovery, of course. There should most definitely be. We have recovery, and we have despondence. Right. Like, it definitely means that there is something that you will be recovering. Some of you, if you had lost friends, or you lost taste for friendships, this is the time when you bounce back into that, right? There's something that you used to do, and you used to have a group of people doing it with you, joining you in it, and you stopped doing it. I feel like Saturn is going to take you back to it, because I keep hearing due to calls, right? So this is not something that was just a passion of yours or something. This was actually a duty of yours, and you were called to do it. And this is why you managed to get other people to follow you in it or do it with you, because actually you're meant to be healing and helping others in that regard, right? And so you stop doing this thing. But I keep seeing somebody using a community hall after hours, like in the evening. I don't know what were you doing in the community hall, but you used to go there after hours with a group of people. You could have been teaching them. You guys could have been exercising. Maybe you're holding prayer sessions. I don't know. It could be just about anything. There was something going on, and you stopped doing that. And Saturn is most definitely going to take you back into that. You're going to recover something that, even if you've been away from it for years or something, rest assured, this is something that was given to you. This is something you'll always be filled with. So even if you take 6 years break away from it, you'll never forget it. Whenever you go back to it, it will still feel like you never left. So whatever this is, you're going back to it. I feel like the karmics are going to come out. Impatience. Yeah. A lot of karmics are going to be getting very impatient. You see, the thing is, it was a trick that they fell into. They didn't know that the whole Saturn being in the 10th house and giving them all that devil's power was only going to last 2.5 years. So now they're getting impatient with their magic. I hear that some of them who did spells, magic, and potions, they're getting impatient because things are not moving as fast as they used to, or things don't affect others as fast as they used to. Their spells are not reacting as fast as they used to, and this is frustrating them. It's getting to them. It's making them impatient. That is because that period of them having power. You see, Saturn, or rather let me say God, because God controls these planets. When God put Saturn in Capricorn, not only was he exposing or she exposing them, she also had to give them power, make them feel powerful, make them see things working in their favor. Why? So that they can freely expose themselves, thinking nothing or no one can touch them. So God made them feel untouchable so that they can expose themselves, right? But that was only going to last for 2.5 years. So now they are no longer untouchable or invincible, right? Now they don't understand. They're getting impatient. They don't understand what's happening. This is when Saturn moves into Aquarius. Destiny. Yeah. Everything that is destined to be will be. All right. God is more about fixing things and putting things into order this time. So everybody's destiny is quite important in the next 2.5 years, especially if you're in the spiritual realm, especially if you understand your birth chart or your zodiac sign, and you understand astrology, or you're trying to learn and understand astrology. You will notice that the next 2.5 years is going to be very, very important in driving you towards your destiny. Because if you're a light worker, if you're an earth angel, whatever you refer to yourself with, as long as you serve the light, you will have noticed that you have a group of people assigned to you to be helped or trained or taught by you, or to work with you, to train with you, to teach you, to train you, maybe, you will notice that. And this is where the energy of Aquarius comes in, the energy of groups, the energy of friends, of organizations, and what leads or what drives these organizations. That's also the qualities of Aquarius, which is hopes and wishes, right? So an organization is based on hoping, or a mission, right? But that mission can be something they hope to achieve. They haven't really achieved it yet, right? This is a wish of theirs that, we're going to open the school maybe for disabled kids, and it is our wish to see those kids becoming, some of the best in the world, right? It's not guaranteed, but they wish that, right? So organizations, groups, or whatever, it's always started based on hopes and wishes and goals and missions and whatnot. So your destiny, if it's in those lines of wanting to help others, or having the ability, or being assigned to work with a group of people, this is something that's definitely going to be coming on heavy. One last card from these guys. One last card from these guys, please. There we go. What is this? I feel like it's passion. Oh, completion. Of course. Definitely, this is what I was saying with the 2.5 years that Saturn was sitting in Capricorn is finished, baby. It's done. They have to wake up to reality now. Okay, God gave them their 15 minutes of fame. It's finished. Whatever they did to you, it's done with now. They can't do it anymore. That was not for their sake, actually. That was for your sake, for them to be exposed. God had to let them win so that they can dance on top of the moon for everybody to see who they really are. You get it? Okay. We have the death card in reverse. I mean, bottom of the deck, we have the death card. You guys, really, you best believe there's a shift, there's a transition, especially with Saturn moving from Capricorn to Aquarius, right? A lot of you will be experiencing also a celibacy. I feel like a lot of you will be experiencing celibacy. A lot of you are going to be learning the power of secrecy. Okay, let's clarify. What is the expansion? I'll come back to these two. What's the expansion card? Please clarify expansion. Please clarify expansion for us. Expansion is clarified with the Three of Swords. Okay, so Three of Swords. This is Gemini energy, and also the expansion in blue card, this is the throat chakra energy. So this is most definitely communication, right? I did say that somebody's word is going to be spreading faster, or somebody's opinion really matters. Someone, you're going to notice people giving you an ear, like people actually taking what you say serious, you know. There's something about how you speak to people or how you recently started advising people. This is something that seems to make them pay attention to your teachings or your advice. You're making sense, darling. Don't underestimate yourself, right? But with this Three of Swords, it's like some of you were starting to experience some sort of a blockage, right? I'm also hearing there's a third party in your life. There's a female in your life that is blocking you from this expansion. And, you know, it's very likely that this female has to do with your lover. This could be a third party. What's the Three of Swords? All right, Three of Swords, it's also like the third house of Gemini, right? I'm hearing that you should be careful of hands and shoulders, right? The Hangman, yeah. Somebody's going to try to give you a handshake or touch you or lean on your shoulder, but I feel like you're going to feel a bit weirdish before this action happens. You actually don't want this person to touch you. This person they're imparting something onto you, or they're rubbing their negative energy onto you. That's the intention they come with this handshake or leaning on your shoulder with, right? This person wants you stuck. They actually want you to stop speaking or stop expanding. This person doesn't want you to reach a lot of people's ears. That is if you are into the public speaking domain. But this doesn't have to be that. You could be a leader at your job. This could be meaning you're somebody that is responsible for communication at your job, you know. Or you're just somebody that communicates with spirit. You communicate with God, with ancestors, and you use this as a service to help others. Whatever sort of communication you have going on over here, somebody wants your word to be nothing. Somebody doesn't want people to take you serious. But this is actually something that's working in reverse, because their time is finished. Their time of ruling of Capricorn being in Saturn, and them seeing all the benefits of their magic, their black magic, their dark magic, rather. Let me not say black magic, their dark magic, right? All of that is crumbling down, and this person is the one feeling stuck now, and they're heartbroken because they can't stop your expansion. What's the recovery? Two cards for recovery. Look what's being recovered, you guys. Three of Pentacles. All right. Somebody's thoughts are actually being straightened up. Saturn is going to help you with this. Saturn is most definitely going to help you with this. Four of Swords. Yeah. Somebody also needs to tell their maternal side of the family that, you know, they need help. I hear someone needs to reach out to their maternal side of the family. Three of Pentacles, Four of Swords. So you're recovering some of the things that you had forgotten for the past 2.5 years. As I said, some of you, this could have even been a business name. Maybe people paid you for the service, or maybe this is something you used to sell for people or do for people. And, you know, they didn't mind paying you for it, but you stopped doing it. This was not only helping you, it was helping others as well. You need to go back to it. What else am I clarifying over here? I'm really not satisfied with this reading. I think I'm going to do a part 2. We're going to go further into looking at what Saturn is going to be bringing into Aquarius, right? I think I spend a lot of time explaining in the beginning of the video. Maybe that's why. But we'll carry on. We'll carry on and finish clarifying these cards. And then I'm going to do a part 2. We're going to pull a whole new deck maybe. And then we'll find out what else can we hear. What's the impatience? Yeah, somebody is, what's the word? Oh my word. You know when a person, oh my god. The name starts with T. I forgot what's it called in English. But those people that always repeat the words, like this person can't finish a sentence before they hook on one word and they keep repeating it, almost like they are battling to, you know, stop saying the word. I don't know, what's it called? Oh my god. Okay, but I'm hearing something about someone who speaks like that, right? And this impatience also has to do with that. Like you're being impatient with somebody who speaks like that, or somebody who speaks like that is starting to be impatient with themselves. What is the impatience card? Knight of Cups. Ooh. The World card. Okay. Oh, this is beautiful stuff. I feel like someone is coming towards you, but in a group setting, right? This is going to be a public thing. Somebody wants to love you publicly, what I'm hearing. Somebody wants to love you publicly, but you seem to be impatient about this. It's going to take time because it seems genuine. It seems genuine, honey. We have Temperance in reverse. All these cards came out in reverse. 9 of Wands in reverse. Judgment in reverse. 10 of Wands in reverse. Like a lot of hardship is over, you guys. A lot of hardship is over, okay? Temperance in reverse. This is their magic not working anymore. This is their spells. If some of you, there were causing blockages in your love life, this is done with. Your love life is slowly approaching towards you. It's slowly approaching. Someone whoever this person was, maybe somebody was afraid to come forward, or you were afraid to come forward, or somebody didn't feel like they were adequate for you. This person is about to let go of that silly idea and take their shot, right? 10 of Wands. Something was hard, or someone was going through a hardship. This is coming to an end. Everything was just too difficult. Every little thing, man. Even just going to buy milk and coming back. It just felt like fighting the troll. And then we have Judgment in reverse. Now, this is telling me somebody doesn't give a damn about whoever is making judgment at them. Impatience. Guys, I'm getting something about a hospital. I saw this cross and, you know, I just heard government hospitals and patience, not impatient. Patience, right? Some of you know this person. There's a relative of yours that works at a hospital. I don't know what profession they are, but this person is engaging with patients on a daily basis. And you wonder how are they doing at work, because you know them to be very evil. This is a cold-hearted person. Now you ask yourself, if this is how they are at home, how are they with patients? Well, guess what? They are putting something in these patients. They're one of the people that government is aware of. Government is a well-structured system. It has auditors and whatnot. And even if, you know, most of the employees tend to do what they want, they don't really follow their job, there's still those that do. And those that do are aware of such people. They do know that there's a high rate of patients dying after taking medication in a certain hospital. There's a high rate of, you know, they know what's happening. They know the nurses, the doctors that were on shift. They know who's got a high body count. So they know what's really happening, but they're not going to expose it because it's part of the plan. If they don't let them kill these people, insurances can't have their money. If insurances can't have their money, smoosheries can't. And this means also doctors and witchcraft doctors can't have the body parts that they want. Like, it's a whole lot of chain operations going on over here. So everybody has to support everybody. But that's not what I wanted to get into. I just wanted to warn you about a family member of yours that works in the hospital. This person is bad-hearted. You ask yourself, how are they doing there? Well, they're actually killing people. Destiny. Oh, destiny, we have the Ace of Wands. So this is power. This is, I feel like, spiritual power being given onto you, especially protection. I feel like you're going to be highly protected to follow your destiny or go towards your destiny. Listen, don't mind these comics, don't mind this gang stalking. People who gang stalk don't have a backbone, right? For people to gang up on one person, for a group of people to gang up on one person, it's because they don't have a backbone, right? It's because you are 10 times more powerful than any one of them or all 10 of them combined, right? So this is you having ultimate power. This is kind of like, I think there's a story in the Bible. I'm not a big fan, but these stories fascinate me sometimes. No, it wasn't Moses. Moses was, no, I almost said Moses was the one that got swallowed by the fish. That was Noah, right? It wasn't Moses, the one who threw his stick on the ground and it turned into a snake and it swallowed all the other snakes that were sent to fight him. This was a snake battle or something like that, right? I mean, who hears of that? Who hears of that? Everybody bringing their snake to a fight. People bring dogs, they bring their fighters. This one was a snake fight, bruh. And the guy threw his stick on the ground and yeah, whatever. Now the main thing I'm trying to tell you here is that it's kind of like you're being given ultimate power, ultimate protection with this stick over here. It's kind of like it can be whatever you want it to be. This could literally mean that some of you will find yourself feeling attached or attracted to a certain stick. I don't know, hey? Are you going to be waking with sticks? I don't know what this means. And I don't want to dwell that much into it. What is the completion? What is the completion? 9 of Swords. Yeah, something has come to an end. Something is being deathed. All right, something is dying. And what is that? This is all the negativities that are going on over here with these people. See, they're being exposed. And because now they're being exposed, because it's so hard to fight you one by one, now they're going to gang up, and Saturn is going to support them. Saturn is actually going to influence them to gang up because it wants you to destroy them all at once. You see, Saturn doesn't want them scattered. Saturn is like, okay, so we moved into Aquarius. Let me see, how can we deal with this karmics some more? How can we bring karma? Yeah, let me put them all in one room. Let me make them become friends. Let them have a common enemy, which is my chosen one. I'm going to put my chosen one here and I'm going to let them all gather up in one room, under the whole idea of destroying her. And once they're all there, boom. Okay, well, 2 last cards. We have the 4 of Cups and the Star card. Honey, this is you, this is your energy, and this is Saturn moving into Aquarius, and this is Aquarius saying, I am not having it, not with my collective, not with my chosen ones. They will not be depressed anymore. You shall reap your own depression. And if it's too hard for you to handle karmic, then go and find karmic friends that can help you handle this depression or stress. But you will not put it down upon my chosen one. I gave you the past 2.5 years for that. Now it's done. Enough is enough. This is why the 4 of Cups. Aquarius is like, I'm not letting it happen. Saturn is like, of course, Aquarius, you're not going to let it happen. All right. And these ones, I did say that I'm just going to leave them here. The Death card and the High Priestess. Something is hidden. As I said, something is hidden. I feel like someone wanted to do death magic on you, but your spirit is always hidden from them. I'm hearing that every time they come. This is somebody who actually comes at night to come and try and take your spirit away from your body. All right. Doesn't matter whether you're sick, you've been bedridden at that point, or whether you've just been your normal self or whatnot. This person always tries to come and snatch your spirit at night, but they always come way too late or way too early. When they come, it's either you're still up, or when they come, your spirit is already gone on an adventure. They can only find your body. And there's very little they can do to that because they come in spirit, right? So there's something about you being hidden from them and them not being able to kill you. Doesn't matter how hard they try. I think even in your dreams, you see yourself hiding from these people. In your dreams, you feel invisible. Some of you could be feeling invisible, or some of you could be seeing yourself being able to fly in your dreams. When your enemies chase you, you'll be flying. Yes, that's because your spirit is untouchable. It's unreachable. You are God's property. Nobody shall be messing with that. All right. So that was a reading. I hope that it resonated. I'm gonna do a part 2 of this reading. I wanted to do this reading on Friday the 13th, but I couldn't because it's Friday the 13th. So now we're doing it on Friday oh my god, what's the date today? I think it's Friday the 20, is it 20th, 21st, somewhere there. I'm still gonna cut this part out. Until next time, darlings. Bye.